Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time. And now, your hosts and owners of So Napa Grill.
So when I talk about wine, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty good. Tastes like grapes. Yeah.
That's okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It was dry, but I like it.
We're not
I would
fancy.
eat it with probably anything because I'm a wine girly. I say that lightly. So I'm like, okay, so how am I going to talk? How am I going to, oh yes, that grape is great.
We're not stuffed.
No, okay, so,
Not stuffed.
all right, again, how do you drink wine?
I drink it
Explain how you, explain that. I just didn't get that.
I drink wine like everybody else, straight, in a glass, maybe a couple cubes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I like.
And then I, maybe have some dinner, have another glass. You have to pregame your dinner with a nice glass of wine.
Okay, pre-game,
I don't hate
Pregame,
that.
yeah.
I don't hate that at all.
okay.
And then you have your dinner, you plate it up, and then you drink another glass of wine, just depending on what wine it is. I mean, it's all good wine.
Yeah.
Because wine is good, I guess.
Okay.
And then
In my
post-game.
age.
And then,
And then you post game.
and then do you talk about it? Like, oh, that wine was great. I think I picked up some violets on the bouquet. Is that what you say?
I'm like,
Or do you say like,
I feel like there was a bit of a leather in that.
No one talks like that.
no?
No, I'm like,
that.
I'm like perfect. A little bit of ice. It's not too bitter. It was $7 bottle. I'm having a good time.
Okay.
I'm drinking my wine, but I mean, I would love to, get into more fancy bottles, but
Well, we're going to get into some fancy bottles today.
today.
Today
And-
on episode
Episode
106.
106, Grapes and Debates.
That's right.
Joe Bates,
Here we are.
my business partner.
Good to see ya.
Seabot couldn't make it. We got Jade Sullivan, our new director of events
Yes.
and marketing coordinator.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
And the return special guest.
The return.
Oh, no.
Andy's in town.
Just got back from a guy trip out to Phoenix, betting on the
Betting
March,
on some
little
March Madness. I did
Hit a
okay.
couple parlays.
All
and,
right.
Hence the bottle of Camus I drank
Oh,
last night.
wow.
hanging out with us for a few days. So.
Well, also, I think it's great that you're here because the last time you were here, we sampled some Washington wines, Oregon wines, and we saw how they compared to Napa. And today, our topic is could you start a winery in Napa Valley today from the ground up and be successful? And I don't necessarily know that somebody could really do that unless you had very, very deep pockets and you're a marketer and you're not a farmer. Because when I look at the wines that we have in front of us, and a lot of the wines that we serve on our list are smaller family wineries.
Would you call these legacy wines?
I would call them legacy wines. Each one of them is a legacy wine, or let's say a legacy family. Starting here with the Trefethens, we've talked about it. The history of Napa would not be Napa without mentioning the Trefethens, how instrumental they were in creating the AVAs and also helping shape the ag preserve. And then, of course, Elizabeth Rose, which is owned by the Ghost Block family, the Palissa family. They've been farming the land for over 120 years, probably about 122, 123 years. They own 1,000 acres, which they've acquired over that time. But if an acre, a planted acre in Napa is worth $1 million, that's
Wait, where's my phone?
And then over here we have the Vine Keeper, which is Bonanza's. It's a Napa Valley wine that is made by Camus Vineyards, which is owned by the Wagner family. The Wagner family roots go all the way back 170 years. I don't know how long they've owned the property that they have, but I think it's about 80 years that they've owned the property in Rutherford that they have. And then we also have Clos-de-Val, and we featured Olav Goulet from Clos-de-Val, and we've known that they've been there since the very early 70s. And then Chapelet's fantastic family, that Mountain Fruit, Pritchard Hill, they have been there. I think they purchased the land in 1968. 1967, 1968, and shortly after started producing wine. So all of these
You're talking
are
60, 70 years
minimum.
of land ownership in Napa.
Right.
Could you go into Napa right now, buy up 40 acres? Number one, that's a number of zeros that not many people have.
We're not there yet.
Right, but then
And
you
if
got to
it's
think.
unplanted, then you're talking 3 years to start producing any grapes.
Sure.
And then get those in the barrel. You're talking 2 years of aging, maybe 3. Now you're talking 4, 5, 6 years.
But what if
of
it was?
negative
What if it
cash
was?
flow.
What if it was just a blank field and you had to
That's
put
what
the
I'm saying.
plantings? That's going to be 5 to 7 years right
Yeah.
there, even with grafting.
Right. So, I deep pockets to get in there and start to do that. And then, even if you can last that long, how do you compete? How do you get your name out there?
Against
Marketing against some of
icons.
these legacy brands, the Silver Oaks of the world,
Sure.
the Camuses of the world, the Harlan,
Yeah.
and
Paradigm, Chapelet.
some of these.
Because even at these, when they have like a competition or whatever, and they're giving them the ratings that
Mhm.
you know, does anybody get to go there, or do they have to be invited to that? And what do you got to do to get your name to even be in that
Right.
group to be
Yeah.
considered?
Yeah,
Anybody can submit their wine to Wine
Okay.
Spectator, right?
Oh, and then they'll try it and decide if
Yeah,
they want to.
and, but there's a big pool of Napa
Yeah.
wines
Right.
getting 80s and 90s.
Well,
Still, how do you
yeah.
stand out?
Yeah.
and
We
then
got a 92. Well, so did every fucking neighbor that you've got down on the Silver
Right.
Trail.
yeah,
They all got 92s too.
Yeah.
So unless you get a 99 or 100, how do you separate
Sure.
yourself from these guys?
well, and then let's take it a step further. What does it actually cost to put the wine in the bottle? So what does it actually cost? If you think about wines, and we just take it for granted, this wine is that Total Wine for $49.99. This wine at Total Wine, the Camus is $125. Whatever the cost is, what does it take to put into the bottle? And just typing that into ChatGPT, right now it costs, and I'm sure that it varies, but about $50 to $70 to put it into the bottle,
To make one bottle of wine.
to make one bottle of
That's
wine.
And that's
average
cost.
across.
I think let's say that's average
Yeah, but
in
still,
Napa Valley,
it's-
because you're paying a certain amount per ton for the grapes, or if you have the land's so expensive to come in and do it now. So you have that. Then you have the labor that's involved, because almost everywhere in Napa is they're picking by hand. And then you have the winemaking teams. So then you got the labor. Then you have the actual cost of the bottle, the cost of the cork, the cost of the foil, the cost of the label, the marketing, code compliance. Jeez.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Like, you've got this crazy amount of money and you want to jump in. How many acres do you want at least to start? And what are you looking at for a number of cases you want to put out just to jump into this game?
Sure.
That's
There's a couple different ways to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, do you go in and buy land like people used to do back when they were kind of going across the country in covered wagons?
Hey,
You
but
know, I think
what?
that's behind us. Are you timing out? Are you putting me in timeout?
No, I'm just saying it's grapes and debates.
Oh,
And I know that.
Oh,
Listen, I know that we've been
Oh.
talking for a little while, and I actually forgot to hit record, so we had to start over again. And we did start out with the Elizabeth Rose Napa Valley Pinot Noir. This was just drinking very nice, very light. We're going to skip that. Well, I was going to go to Chapelet.
yeah. Well, let's go. Do you
Yeah,
have it open?
yeah, it's wide open.
But you got a chance to hang out with the Pelissa family a little
I
bit.
did,
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
cool story. So it was after I left already, but remind everybody of that story while we're pouring.
Yeah, so we stopped by for a tasting, and Andy Pelissa walks out, says, "Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. And by the way, if you're here on Saturday, we're doing a 120th celebration of farming the land in Napa Valley.
120th.
120th, and that was in September of 2023. And I got to tell you, that was one of the most magical moments of being in the wine industry, was to be there in the middle of the vineyards at their house and this 120th celebration, and then to hear Andrew Pelissa get up and just explain their philosophy of how they want to leave the land better than they found it. And it was just, it's like, oh my God. Yeah. And I thought, this is a great opportunity for social media. And I put my phone down and I said, I would never, it was just that special that I would never put that out there for a social media moment. It was just that good. And then we had the chance to meet the Trefethans. How cool was that? Which we mentioned. Cool.
So we were out there for their annual rosé drop.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So they sin party. Sin party.
Yeah.
So,
summer in Napa.
Thank you. And so that was a fun time, and we got to meet the patriarch of the family.
Right.
And Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is the son. Yeah.
And, just a very cool. I mean, you felt like you were in their home on their back porch, having a glass of wine in the afternoon. And but again, those are the experiences that you have to create.
Right.
Just having a great bottle of Napa Cab is not good enough anymore.
This is fantastic.
This is insanely good.
It's really good.
Wow.
Cyril Chapelet, did you hear that? This is insanely good.
I just wanted to interrupt Joe as I was taking that sip. I was like, I should have waited.
Wow. Yeah, it's oh wow.
How would you describe this, Jade? There's no right way or wrong way to describe it.
And we love having a young person's view on it.
Yeah, so I would describe it as a little bit drier, but you still get that drier fruit.
Okay.
It's not super fruity, but it's not like a really dry Cabernet, but it's like it has the hint of like, how did you explain it?
You know what? I'm glad you said it. It's not like a Cabernet. So that does show you. So this is actually the Mountain Cuvée. It is a blend of grapes. So it's not just a Cab. And I think it's going to be a little bit softer.
Yeah.
But you're getting that. It's not the fresh fruit. It's the ripe fruit that you're getting in that.
Exactly what I was going for. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, it's refreshing. It doesn't have that after you drink, it doesn't make your tongue dry.
Oh, that's called tannins. It's called tannins.
A lot of tannins is what I noticed.
People out there, it's called tannins when it doesn't make your tongue dry.
Okay. This one doesn't make my tongue dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the millions of young people.
Yes. We get billions of followers across the world. Across the world. Yeah, we are.
Known globally. So
yes. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are the alternatives to going out and just buying 50 acres of Napa? If you want to make a Napa wine today, listen, I think you're going to be rich no matter what. It's just how rich.
Wait, you have to be in order to make a Napa wine?
Well, and I mean, if you know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
But if you're going to kind of go down the path I'm thinking about, that's an alternative to
creating, sourcing the grapes.
And you've got a truck that'll come to you and bottle it. They've got custom crush facilities that you can rent or lease.
Correct.
So they'll crush it for you. They'll age it for you. You can choose your barrel. You can choose your different styles of barrels.
But you're no longer a farmer. You're a marketer. What do you think?
I think you're still a winemaker.
Are you?
I think you need to know the agriculture. I think you need to know the farm. If you buy grapes, those are many times generational relationships. And if I'm buying grapes from Uncle Andy, I'm certainly walking down Uncle Andy's grape rows. Oh, these are my rows? And the farmers that sell grapes, they listen to the winemaker. Listen, I want this can to be cut back. I want the east side a little more sun facing. I want you to cut half.
But that's that's a winemaker who knows what they're doing. I'm just saying,
you need to know the land.
You're talking about me taking the class and deciding I want to make wine.
That's it. All of a sudden, Andy shows up in Napa, said, I just got done taking a class about how to make wine. I want to make wine. And by the way, I need you to cut this side because the sun's facing here. And I only want you to pick grapes from the...
Could you go out and find somebody and say, I want these 3 rows and make a few cases. And so, and now you're a Napa Valley vintner. And those cases take off. And you get a little bit of traction and
Do they
you're
let
on
you pick
Instagram
rows
and
like that?
You have
though?
a young influencer that
I don't know.
shows your label.
He's making stuff up.
Because I know
No,
a guy from church that started a winery and he's doing okay, but he has another job, and he is actually planted grapes in an area where people didn't think it would be a good spot to, but he
Mhm.
did a lot of research. But in the meantime, to get his wine going, he bought the grapes from people. But I think it's just you're going to buy how many tons of grapes from me. I don't know
Right.
that you get to be that selective because
There are
you're the new guy
some-
on the block, right? And like,
Well,
I'm
there-
not giving you
If
the
you've
best
got
one.
Mondavi legacy, or you've got some, the
Or for example, Joe Wagner.
right?
When he started Mayomi, he didn't own any of the land. He started. He's got right, and I'm sure he knew the growers, and he was able to source the grapes. But that comes from local knowledge, being out there, having those family relationships, and creating Mayomi, which he subsequently sold for $315 million. No land, no winemaking facility. Which
But you said he knew people. Like, am I going to
Sure.
go and they're going to be, you ain't from around here, you know?
no, I think they would say, not that you're not from around here. They'll say, so you're from Washington?
Well, the thing is, if you want to go a different path in Napa, number one, I think if you want to make wine right now,
You can make wine.
you're probably not going to Napa. There's other hot spots. Paso certainly comes to mind
Mm-hmm.
where you can produce great wine, but no matter what.
What about
Again, we
Georgia?
said it. Georgia, the country?
No, Georgia.
State.
Yeah, Georgia.
There's actually some great wines coming out of Georgia, the country.
No, the state.
Yeah, no, I don't know if
Any?
any peach wine.
They've got one type of soil, red clay, where Napa you have what 107 different soil types.
If
107.
Yeah.
is making wines from the state of Georgia, don't messages.
Yeah, yeah.
Send us a model. I don't know if it's good.
Listen, yeah, yeah.
But
Give
Hey,
a review.
listen, how do you stand out? So every
How do you?
year a Napa, Napa cabs, the Wine Spectator, Napa cab, November, October,
Mhm.
whenever it comes out, and they taste 200 bottles, and 100 of those bottles are between 85 and 92 score. Not that that matters to everybody, but everybody on a level playing field. 100 bottles are scoring 90 plus. How do you stand out? How do you stand out? If you're not one of these legacy brands, if I'm looking at the shelf and I see Camus, okay, Silver,
Are you
okay,
asking?
Harlan, I'm asking, but I'm finishing my statement.
oh, so you're not. It's a rhetorical question.
Well, I'm saying, how do you stand out? Because just having great wine in the bottle is not good enough anymore.
Well, it's the same thing with a restaurant.
I mean,
Agreed.
I could say right now, when you go to a store and you're looking like at Publix or Winn-Dixie, wherever you go, the label.
Oh, that's how?
I mean, sometimes they look really cool, and I'm like, that looks
I
like.
don't listen.
No,
I
that's-
don't hate that at all.
When I started drinking wine, that's exactly what I did. I knew that I wasn't going to go to the bottom shelf. You know, I wasn't that broke, but I'd stand there, what I could scan, and I would look, that's a cool label, and I'd try it because I had just started drinking wine. I didn't know anything, and I'm like, let
Yeah.
me try this.
Well,
That's
and
fun.
At
Yeah.
$18 to $25, yeah, you can take a chance. There's no.
Well, no, but I mean, 18 to 25 for you, that's a lot
I
for
mean,
a bottle.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, and,
no, you're right.
and then you could see, like, I mean, if they catch my eye, like maybe it's a special occasion, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm drinking. I have no idea what wine is really. Like, oh, do I like Pinot Noir or do I like Cabernet? And you just see the label, and you're like, that looks fun. And then you're like, it's $18. Okay, it's a special occasion, you know?
See?
Yeah.
So, whatever the price point is,
Mhm.
if you're at the lower end of your price point and you try something and it's not great, well, you've only,
Right,
dipped in for $15.
right.
If you pick something at $100 and you don't care for it, well, it's a bigger investment,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
If you're starting out, I mean, don't a lot of people, even if they don't know much about wine, if they hear California, they think Cabernet. Is that
I think if you think Napa, you think Cabernet.
Napa? Okay.
For sure.
So if you're going there, maybe you try starting with a different wine. Maybe you try and make a kick-ass Pinot, or I don't know.
Oh,
what you
it's
grow there, but
yeah.
a different kind of wine. And I mean, because you go to Napa and you jump in the Cabernet,
Well, the reason you jump into Cabernet because that's what the soil really dictates that you grow. And it's the soil, it's the climate. There are areas within Napa where you can grow Sauv Blancs, other red varietals for sure. But when it comes to a Pinot Noir, they're finicky. They like cool weather. And so there's really only one place that's known for in Napa, and that would be Carneros.
So whatever wine you're doing, you would look at what is that.
Yes.
You're just going to go in and try and get it done.
Like you can do whatever you want. I
Yeah.
just think it's so much more than what's in the bottle anymore.
Yeah.
It's direct to consumer. It's how you interact with your wine club.
I think that's big.
experiences. It's
Yeah.
who makes Belglass? Is it Joe Wagner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's all over Instagram. That bottle of Belglass.
I know.
He's dipping into the red wax. And he's,
He's like
somebody
spraying.
asked me to dip it in upside down. And so I dipped it in upside. Right? Listen, Belglass is great juice. I love it. But he's all over Instagram.
He
and
is.
He's fun.
Okay.
He's funny.
And that's today. You've got to.
Yeah, and he's dipping that bottle of Bella Gloss into that red wax and bringing it back up and making some kind of joke, and
Yeah.
he's keeping it top of mind. Unless you're, Screaming Eagle, where you don't have to tell anybody about you at all. You build scarcity, right?
Right.
That's different.
It's a lot different. But I think even if Screaming Eagle had to start today, I think they would have a very difficult time. If they came in, how do you build that? I mean, how long I don't know. I've never had
I
it.
don't know.
But how long have they been
And
around?
who's the first one that said Screaming Eagle was awesome, right? So that are some of these legacy brands, and this is kind of veering.
Yeah.
Are some of these legacy brands kind of riding on their laurels? And
Well, you know what? I don't think a legacy brand necessarily is riding on the laurels. I do believe it's like anything else. Maybe one generation that started the winery then kind of loses focus, or they've been doing it a while. They think they're going to leave it to the second generation. Second generation doesn't want it. Then all of a sudden the third generation comes in, has to refocus. I mean, I'm sure there's a story for almost every different brand that's out there. And to your point earlier, you asked the question, how would the Napa community embrace somebody that's coming in new? And we had the opportunity to sit down and had a podcast with Steve Reynolds. And we asked him that very same question, but he started in 99. And he said when he first started making wine, he didn't know shit. And he tried to fake it, and he was at a crush facility, and he had other winemakers actually helping him.
Oh,
And it was a community that came together. And now when I mention names like, well, do you know the Trefethans? Oh, I know the Trefethans. I'm, really good friends with the Trefethans. Or what about Ren Harris? He goes, oh my God, that guy's an icon. And we start naming the names of people. Steve, who's only been there since 99, says that it's a welcoming community. Everybody works together.
because they love the wine, so they want to
Correct.
encourage
you've
people
got
to
to
do
be
it.
there for the right reasons.
Yes, I
Yeah,
think that's the other thing.
I
And I do think, and this could be a whole other topic, and I'd love to get the feedback from some of the families that we know and the people that are out there. The tech billionaires, they have just made $1 billion selling their internet startup, and they decide they're going to come to Napa and start a winery or purchase a winery.
Yeah. Well,
I think they do it for
What did Snoop Dogg do? Did he buy a winery or did he start planting grapes?
No, he may have he may have just had, formed a relationship with somebody and somebody's bottling wine for Snoop
Okay.
Dogg.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Listen, it doesn't matter how you got your money, though. If you go in there with a little bit of humility,
Sure.
and
you honestly
have
love
the
it.
right people around you. Right?
Yes.
I don't know shit about wine, but I want to make wine. I love great wine, but I'm going to hire this winemaker from this family tree, and I'm going to hire these people around me that I know can help support me, and I'm
Are you okay?
gonna trust the land.
Are you okay?
Am I okay? Am I?
You got 2 empty glasses.
Oh, well,
Oh.
Ghost block.
And I think too, like in any industry, right?
I'm not okay. Yeah.
Because people have their bullshit detector, right? Is there someone who just has
Sure.
money is like, oh, I'm going to go buy a winery and I'm going to do this. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't care about it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to have to definitely just be a
Yeah.
person and meet people and talk to them, because you're not just going to show up and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And start picking grapes and make wine. That
Yeah.
ain't going to happen.
But also, I also think that the families that were there in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, they were there at a time when wine and Napa, prior to the Judgment of Paris, I think being out in Napa, you're a farmer. That's what you did.
Yeah.
And you were really struggling probably to make ends meet.
And these guys at their core still are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
You know, Napa was actually pretty highly renowned before Prohibition. It was already on the map. People understood that those guys out of Napa were making good wine. Prohibition crushed them.
Sure.
And it took the Judgment of Paris
Yeah.
to kind of bring them out of the Prohibition hole, even though they had been
Yeah.
making wine
Yep.
before. But it wasn't like pre-Prohibition they were making shit wine. They were making decent wine, and the Globe knew about it a little bit. They were at least on the radar
Well,
for making decent wine.
So I'm a little bit ignorant. You've said this twice. The Judgment of Paris.
oh, no, that's great.
We talk about it a lot.
We
so,
love this story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good story.
Joe was really good about the Judgment of Paris, but it was because we've done 3 wine dinners based on the Judgment of Paris. We've a couple years in a row have done tastings based on the Judgment of Paris. So the Judgment of Paris took place 50 years ago in May. So we're on the 50th anniversary Judgment of Paris. And it was a wine merchant by the name of Stephen Spurrier, not to be confused with the football
The
coach.
old coach.
There was a wine academy next to him, Academy des Vins,
La Académie des Vins.
and her name was
Gallagher. Patricia Gallagher.
So the two of them decided, because of the bicentennial in 1976, to host a tasting. She had just gotten back from being in Napa. 50 years ago, she was there, and she comes back and says, wow, there's some great wines being made. So he came over to the United States, to Napa, Sonoma, Northern California, March and April, 50 years ago. And then he went back, he selected, let's say, 6 whites, 6 reds, took them back. They had a blind tasting with French judges against the finest Bordeaux's and Burgundies. And 2 of the wines, Chateau Montelena Chardonnay was the number 1 Chardonnay that was selected, and then Stag's Leap, and out now it's SLV, Stag's Leap, was the number 1 cab picked. And
so 2 California wines, the white and the red, beat the best of Bordeaux
That's
and
awesome.
Burgundy.
right.
And
And they wanted to
shocked
rip
the world.
up the scorecards and do it over.
yeah.
But there was a reporter from Time who was actually there reporting, and he saw what happened, and he was able to report on it. He said, had he not been there, we wouldn't have heard about it.
And
And
it's
so-
the only reporter that showed up. A ton of reporters were invited. He was the only one that showed
Wow.
up. Time Magazine, Paris, because everybody thought you're having a tasting between California and French wines. French is going to win. We're not going.
So until then, was these California wines, were they just more local? Like, kind of like, I think our Washington wines aren't really out there as much.
No, it's
Stay
interesting.
in the
So
Northwest.
here's what happened. Napa was probably chugging right along, and then Prohibition hit. And we came out of Prohibition, what, 1938? 1930. Whenever we came out of Prohibition, now you have to restart from zero, right? We still had, BV was the one icon of a winery that was able to stay in operation because of selling Sacramento wine.
Okay.
And so from there, the lineage from BV of all the winemakers, it all really started from there. And it took years to build that back up. And, but yeah, I think that it was local.
We'll have to watch the movie Bottle Shock.
Bottle Shock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I
It's
think
good.
to wrap this up, first of all, we have some incredible wines, incredible families that have been farming the land. The Wagners for 170 years, the Golettes at Clos de Val since the early 70s, the Chapelets since the late 60s, the Palissa family for 120 years, the Trefethens since the early 70s. We're talking 50, 60 years of farming the land and building those contacts and building a brand name. If you go in there today and you don't have that, I just don't see how somebody could build a brand. They would have to be a marketer and they would have to have deep, deep pockets. That's my point on that.
Yeah, it's more than what's in the bottle now.
Sure.
Having a great wine in the bottle is just the price of admission in Napa.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you're not going to last
Right.
anyway.
Right.
And if the average cost is $68,
To put a bottle together.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
But keep exploring. There's wines
I think
coming
so.
out of Napa that maybe they're not single vineyards and.
I think it would have to be a long game too.
Well-
You'd have to have like legacy kind of money
Correct.
and look at not seeing what you want in
Yeah.
your lifetime. The money you're gonna have to dump into
Yeah.
it and
Agreed.
the work and effort and
I heard rumors that there is a new brand coming out of Sonoma.
Rumors only.
Rumors
Yeah,
only.
I think the rumors are confirmed, but do we?
Yeah. Apparently there's a
do
new.
we drop that
There's
nugget?
no. There's a new label coming out of. Keep an eye out.
all right.
Ooh.
This is right around what we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So Jade, what'd you think of the wines?
I loved it.
Which one did you? So you had the Pinot Noir, then you had the Mount Cuvée, and this is a beautiful Cabernet. This is sort of what is considered a cult wine.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like the Chapelet.
Whoa.
I do.
Okay.
I really like it. I mean, it's beautiful. I was explaining to you earlier. I mean, it doesn't taste like a Cabernet. It's easy on the tongue, on the finish. It's nice.
Perfect.
It's nice.
Good.
That's all. You
And-
like it or you don't like it?
Yeah.
And I also want to bring up, like, for me and my friends used to love thinking about Caymus and Belle Gloss and all these fancy wines, but you were talking about it's the same vineyard for like there's another one that uses the same grapes. It's dang it, I forgot it. Of course I would forget it.
Bonanza?
Bonanza.
Bonanza.
That's it. And it really tastes just as,
You see this?
Yes.
That's
my
it.
gosh,
It's the
I love
vine keeper.
Bonanza. I love Bonanza. I think
Okay.
it's great. And I like people to know, like, they should, see that there is a correspondence between all of the wines. Because when I first heard of it, I was like, oh, Bonanza. And they're like, oh, well, it's also the same kind of grape as Caymus. And
It's made by Caymus.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
The differentiator is Caymus here. These grapes are sourced from Napa Valley. Bonanza, and these are also sourced from Napa Valley, the vine keeper.
Yeah.
Bonanza itself, the grapes can be sourced anywhere in California, and there's areas that are not as expensive to source those grapes.
Yes, and that's what's important to know because, just hearing that, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel fancy just buying that bottle itself. So, I mean, that's just
Yeah.
a take on my opinion.
I think in your list of like the shit and all in your descriptions, one of the ones you got to add is that don't dry out my tongue.
I'm so sorry. That's how I would explain it.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Everybody's like, oh, whatever your fancy word you use to explain it, but it doesn't dry out your tongue. Very good.
That's called the shit.
We love that.
All right. With that,
Thanks, man. And
All right. Thank
in
you.
honor of Barbara,
Cheers, everybody.
toast together.
Barbara,
Barbara.
can you cut the cursing down to a minimum? I appreciate it. Thank you. Baby, thanks you.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh no, we're banned from TikTok.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
Do the George Carlin 7 words you can't see on TV.
Well, that was so much fun, guys. Oh, I loved it.
Gosh, that was I gotta add this to my list.
You gotta.